It's like building a sandcastle, I say. You know, when you go to the beach, you're going to build a sandcastle. You have this intention. So you take your bucket and you take your shovel and you go to the beach and you begin, right? And everybody's done this that has been to the beach. But what happens when the sandcastle's finished? I don't know, walk away from it, let the waves take it, jump on it. It's done. You see, the point to life is not to finish the sandcastle. It's to build the sandcastle. It's to be in the act of building a mortal life. The Buddha was once asked, or told by a student that he wanted to go to Shanghai. And Buddha said, no, you don't. He said, oh, yes, I do. I want to go to Shanghai. And the Buddha said, no, you don't. Well, he insisted. And then the Buddha said, if you wanted to go to Shanghai, you would put your foot on the path. Very important lesson. I was talking to some friends of mine who they're well-to-do. You know the difference between well-to-do and wealthy, right? Well-to-do is when you go to the grocery and you shop for your food, everything you want, brand name, and you don't look at the receipt when you leave. That's well-to-do. And they were talking one day, oh, you remember that time when we first started, we were living in that one-bedroom apartment and we were working like 90 hours a week and the first shop was just opening. Yeah, I remember, that was nice. I said, that's a bunch of crap. You guys, when you were in that one-bedroom apartment, the only thing you dreamed about was now. You dreamed about being able to go to the grocery and buy what you want and walk away and not looking at the receipt. You hated that one-bedroom apartment, but your foot was on the path. That is what they were reminiscing about, being on the path. Building sandcastles is the purpose of life. So I ask people to seek process and not solids like the Dodge truck. Because you could get the Dodge truck. I got a Ford truck myself, gray, less than 20,000 miles on it. Exactly what I wanted to spend. It was 2 miles away. I got the truck before that way. I got my Man Purple motorcycle that way. Getting stuff is easy. What's more important is figuring out your purpose. I put this picture up here because it reminds me of a story of a counselor who was advising a middle-aged woman who was single, and she was accomplished but had no purpose. She wanted to do something with her life that gave her purpose. She was comfortable a little bit, had some Social Security coming in or a pension coming in, but she lacked something to do, and she still had life left. And they talked and couldn't figure out what to do, session after session, and finally one day she came in, she talked for her period of time that she paid for and got up to leave, and she had a rolled-up magazine in her hand. And the counselor said, hey, what's the magazine? She said, oh, it's just a magazine about apes. I like apes. I read everything I can get my hands on about apes. She said, sit back down. Picked up the phone and called the zoo. Hey, do you have any apes at your zoo? Yes, we do. Well, do you need any volunteers to come and help with apes at your zoo? And they said, well, as a matter of fact, we just had a female ape have a baby in captivity. She doesn't have a clue what to do. And we need a volunteer to come in and help her learn how to care for her infant. She said, I'm sending someone over. Long story short, this woman did go to the zoo. And she was so fulfilled, she became so good at it, that she travels all over the country teaching zoos ape husbandry for infants born in captivity. Do you think she found her life purpose? Yeah, she's fulfilled. That's what I'm talking about. Being something. Not what you are right now. I mean, not that what you are is not great, because you're the perfect you, absolutely. There's no other like you. You're not broken. You're not broken, and you're not ordinary. And doing something. People say, I want to win the lottery, I want to win the lottery, and then the Lord comes to him and says, do me a favor, buy a ticket. You gotta do. You gotta get off the porch and you gotta do. I had somebody troll me the other day. because they said nobody should be a millionaire. I said, really? Yeah, it's not fair. I said, well, you know how people get that way, right? Oh, it's just luck. Really? When's the last time you worked a 90-hour week? I worked 90-hour weeks for 20 years. After my 40-hour week job, I did another 40 hours and then overtime on top of that for 20 years. That's how it's done. Do something, accomplish something, learn something. The having will come, or it won't come. Because one thing you're going to realize very shortly is the having don't matter. The big house, boring. The fast car, yeah, how many times can you break the speed limit till they take your license away? And then the insurance company is going to spank you for another 4 years. Having is cheap. Having is the trick of the third dimension. Don't fall into that trap. Being and doing, much more fulfilling.